Look, self-made entrepreneur, no manure. I'm the
Greetings and salutations, man. Day more. Hey, so I'm gonna start doing a little bit more of sales training, right? Why? Because we all need it, and me verbalizing it, not only does it help you, hopefully, it also helps me. And we can all use a little help from time to time. So the one thing or a few things that I want to talk about, right? Why do some dealerships lose customers after the first visit? You're not losing customers because of price. You're losing customers because of what happens when they walk out the door, right? And this is the part that's going to hurt a little bit, because if you're a sales manager, me included, I'm no stranger to accountability. You know, it's something that we can fix. So we got to correct a little bit behaviors that we have. I always throw myself in there because I am a work in progress, just like you. But here's the brutal truth though, right? Most dealerships think customers are just shopping. They'll come back. They went to go check one more place, yada, yada. That is not true. See, people leave because they're confused, they're unconvinced, and they're not connected to the deal. And confusion never, ever, ever closes deals. I'll say that again. Confusion never, ever, ever closes deals. Kind of the real reason that they leave is because you gave them no emotional anchor to the car, to the deal. You showed them the car, you talked about the features, you talked about price, but you never anchored the car to their life. They never pictured themselves driving in the car. They never take mental ownership of the car. There's no story, no future, no emotion. People don't leave dealerships thinking, I didn't like the deal all the time. Most of the time, they really leave thinking that I didn't feel anything. Because guess what? They're going to buy a car. That's why they were there. If they didn't buy it from you, ask yourself why, and ask yourself, did you emotionally anchor this customer to this specific vehicle that they want and that they need? And what you want to avoid is, you really want to avoid like a real weak first visit, right? And here, managers again, salespeople really don't lose deals, managers do. Because managers, when there's no clear process, there's no commitment questions, there's no proper TOT. What is a TOT? Transfer of trust. When there's no proper TOT and then there's no leadership presence, it makes it difficult. When a manager does not show any authority whatsoever, the customer does not feel certain. I want you to remember that. Certainty is a very powerful word. Let's be honest. After the customer leaves, then we get into that thing called follow-up, right? For a sales rep, hey man, we've been sales reps. We kind of know how it goes. Most follow-up questions, what are they, man? Just checking in, any update, let me know. That's not following up. That's not a constructive way to do it. That's kind of like begging. And there's no reason to return if you do it that way. You've created no urgency and you've created no value. What really happens is that customer goes home, watches YouTube, reads reviews, talks to friends, and guess what? The dealership that educated them the most normally wins. I'm going to say that again. The dealership that educated them the most normally wins, and that's not always the cheapest. It's the clearest. Clarity and certainty sell cars. Say it again. Clarity and certainty sell cars. Sometimes I get to talk to my buddies who work at dealerships, man. And, you know, if you're blessed enough to work at an elite level dealership, those elite level dealerships do not hope for a return visit from the consumer. They don't hope that they're going to come back. They don't hope that they're going to make a decision later on and buy. They want them to make that decision now. They plan for a decision, not a return visit. I'm going to say that again. Plan for a decision about the car and not a return visit. You don't have to pressure. You remain clear. Ask questions. Ask questions. What will stop you from moving forward today? If everything makes sense, are you ready to make an educated decision? Ask questions that plan for a decision, not a return visit. Every serious customer that you have, and I'm going to take that word serious out, every customer that you have should always meet a manager. And again, I say we're going over these things because these are things that I need to correct as well if I'm doing them. You need to correct if you're doing them. This is what this channel is about. This is what we're supposed to do. This is what training is for. Every customer should meet a manager, and not just to negotiate. You want to anchor trust to a person. You want to put the confidence that you have into a human being. It should be your manager. Your job is to anchor trust between the consumer, your sales rep, and yourself. Authority builds certainty. Authority builds certainty, man. People will listen to you when you sound and you know exactly what you're talking about. Period. I always ask salespeople, I'll interview them sometimes and I say, hey, man, what do you do to follow up with a customer? And you'll hear, oh, well, I do this, I call at this time, I send them this, I do this, I do this. So what I did was I asked a few great ones and I said, hey, man, give me the top 4. And honestly, these are the top 4. One person said, personalized walk around videos. And I can see how powerful that would be because there's not a lot of salespeople who are actually doing that at this moment. So that's something that will make you stand out. A video about ownership tips. Again, not everybody's doing that. And that's going to make, that's something that's going to make you stand out. And customers would appreciate that. Comparison breakdowns. Most people don't do that because they don't want to take the attention away from the vehicle that they're selling. I'm not sure. I'll ask a couple questions and get an answer to that question, but comparison breakdowns are important. So you can absolutely see where you excel, where you don't, and you have control. The last thing is follow-up should be about like what the clear next steps are. What are we doing? Never chase the lead. You lead the lead. I like that. Never chase the lead. You lead the lead. When people know that you're clear, they know you're confident, and they know you understand what's going on, they will do what you ask them to do if you present information to them that makes sense. Period. Customers don't really ghost dealerships. Dealerships fail to give them a reason to truly come back. If you fix your first visit and turn that first visit from a comeback visit to a decision visit, you probably don't need to discount the car on the second visit because you'll earn their business now. Most people that come into a dealership are there to do what? Purchase a car. Hey, just a few pearls, man, just a few pearls. Every now and then I'm going to do this, because we all need to talk about what we can do to improve, how we can make our dealerships better in our prospective areas. And this is just some stuff that I think if we implement, a little bit at a time, we all can get to the pay window and we all can win. If you're a sales manager and this thing hit home for you, bro, I break down kind of like real dealership leadership because I'm going through it. I'm not somebody who's just talking about it. I'm actually going through it. And I'm trying to get better at it every single day. If we need real sales psychology and real systems that close car deals, now that is my expertise. I love that part of it. Reach out, because just like anything else, the more conversation we have, the more we grow, the better we become. Each one teach one, and we can help our customers by making transportation dreams come true. I appreciate you all. Thank you very much for staying with me. You know the drill. One word, 2 fingers. Peace.
Look, self-made entrepreneur, no manure, I'm number 1.
Goose down, jacket, Maverick, Top Gun. Do it B.I.G. like Biggie, Big Pun. Look,